is Bev Montie, or Montier if you're in France, but most people here want to say Montie or Montie. And I am the manager for the Roberto Ocasio Latin Jazz Project and the president of the Roberto Ocasio Foundation. I actually kind of fell into this type of work. I was working a corporate communications job for a major company. My schooling was business and interior design at Kent State, working on degrees. And while I was at this corporation, part of my communications job was to do events for the employees. And so, lo and behold, we were doing a Latin event at one point, and somebody recommended Roberto to me as the entertainment. And I called him up and met him, and that's the end of that, and we really clicked, and just worked together after that, doing, gosh, probably 250 gigs a year. When it put the two of us together, there was time, you know, to promote more, and he had, of course, his store and his family as well, so it was difficult for him. So that's how I got into it, actually. And then when he passed away, it was so devastating, and so many people wanted the music to continue, including his family. So we started the foundation, and so we're continuing now to go into schools and teach the music, as well as perform with the band to keep his music going. And then we have a summer camp. Our signature program is a summer camp for kids at Baldwin Wallace every summer. And Bobby Sanabria is our artist in residence, not only for the camp, but other things that we do throughout the year. He comes from New York City. He's multi-Grammy nominated, and he knew Roberto years ago at Berkeley College of Music. They were the only two Puerto Ricans on campus, and I think Bobby actually was the first Puerto Rican to ever graduate from there. So they kept in touch through the years, and when Roberto passed away, he kind of jumped in and helped me with things, and he's been helping ever since. And so that in that way we're able to keep Roberto's name alive and the music going, and teaching the younger generation, because we know how hard it is to keep jazz up there and Latin jazz up there, and so it needs a new audience, and that has to come from the young people. So we're really dedicated to that. My day usually starts with checking email. For some reason that just gets me going, and seeing what's happening. And I try to plan an agenda, but it usually goes haywire. The phone rings a couple times, and I've got more papers stacked on top of papers, and then I can't find anything, and then I'm off onto another tangent. I think probably one of the most difficult things is promotion. It just takes so much time, and it's very hard to make the connections in spite of all the networking that you might do. And a lot of money. Advertising is expensive. And, you know, now that the computers are helping a little bit, you know, it makes it a little bit easier cost-wise, but it still takes a great deal of time. And you never know what the public is going to want or want to attend. It's always kind of a scary thing if you've stuck your money out there or your neck out there to promote something, a special project. You hope somebody will come. And we've been pretty fortunate, but we've had some bombs too, and so this job for me is probably just the opposite of what I should be doing, because I come from such a structured background with a regular paycheck, and sometimes my family says, why don't you go back and get a real job? But I think you have to be really passionate about, you know, the object of your work, the people that you're working with. I know with Roberto it was so easy because I was so, I don't know, respectful of him and loved what he did, the music that he made, and so it was a dedication that we both shared. And now, I guess Bobby Sanabria has kind of replaced that for me, because I'm helping him with other things too. But I can't do it unless I really believe in that person. So you can always do bookings, and a lot of musicians need that, but it becomes just kind of a rote job after a while unless you really believe in that musician or that group. Another challenge too, like for me as a business, more structured person, is working with the artistic side of people. Although I'm an artist myself, a designer and whatnot, I have that business background. So it's a little difficult for me sometimes to cope with the unstructured background of the typical musician, and the supervision and the follow-up, and also with the clients and trying to get the work. trying to contact agents or whatever, people just don't call you back like they would in a more organized setting. And so that's kind of tough to deal with at times. And but on the good side, there's a lot of teamwork to it that makes it worthwhile. The music itself makes it worthwhile. When they have a really good gig or you're connected with some event that really puts it out there, there's no high like it, I don't think. It's just fantastic. So like everything, there's the good side and the bad side, but I'm happy to be part of it, and I guess now with Bobby's help, we can continue on, if not with the band itself, with the foundation, and do other things with that. That still keeps Roberto's mission alive, and his love for the music and the kids and people in general. So as long as I can, that's what I'm going to do. Recommendation to anybody wanting to do this work: you have to realize how much work it really is, how much money goes into it that you're never going to get compensated for. Your time is not going to be adequately compensated for, so there has to be that other reason behind it. And that said, I would still probably say to anyone, get your schooling and look at the business aspect of it. Performing is great, but it's very hard, and it's not going to give the income. There are very few that make it to the top and have a really good income. Sometimes you can join it with teaching, and that helps, but you need maybe kind of a business sense behind it too, because unfortunately a lot of artists don't have that side to them, and it makes it much more difficult to make a living. And when it boils down to the bottom line, it's really making a living too, as well as doing what you love to do. So it's hard. It's hard, and I'm still here, and sometimes I wonder why, but that's the way it's worked out. And every time I've thought about going back and doing something else, my heart just isn't there, and so I struggle along a little bit more, and usually another gig comes in and I can go buy groceries or whatever. So that's it.